Hey everyone, I'm Zinga here. So I just wanted to give some final thoughts on the whole Sheng sampler because I've had them all right now, and I'm just offsetting my flavor, my palette with some black tea. So the thing about this sampler is, first of all, it's very interesting to get a snapshot of the tea, what the profile is, how you like it, which one you perhaps want to order in the future. Especially if you're into the poor rabbit hole and you're looking for a cake to buy and you know those aspects of a tea that make it worthwhile aging. I think it's interesting to have those mini cakes and get a snapshot of that tea, how bitter it is, how astringent it is, how sweet it is, and perhaps how well it will age. Um, the downside, I would say, to this mini cake sampler is you can't really brew the tea in the same way as you would a normal sample or a normal cake because, well, mainly because of the compression. It's very hard to get the tea completely open without stabbing at it with a tea pick. And I think it perhaps it isn't representative of a whole session you would have with the cake. You can get the impression if it's tea which is more upfront sweet, it's more bitter. Um, but you're if you decide to buy a cake and you have a first session with, you pry off the leaves, it probably won't come out as it would with this with these mini cakes. That would be completely skewed, I think. The profile would still remain the same, of course, given that it's the same material. But yeah, the brewing of the session itself might vary a bit. Um, for me, at least, before I got the hint that I should give it a very long first rinse, I actually pried one open that was very tightly compressed. I used my tea needle, but the leaves were just too broken to be brewed properly, to be brewed correctly. Um, the actual official instruction from Chen is actually to give it a 2 minute rinse, but I found that it doesn't suffice most of the time. Perhaps for the ones that were a little looser compressed, but especially for the ones that were heavy compressed, even 2 or 3 2 minute rinses wouldn't do the trick. And yeah, that can give some huge skewed sessions. Um, I think in most cases, well, with the heavy compression, I think most even got like a minute infusion for the first 5 infusions or something like that, and it's just not representative for a whole cake. And even the type of bitterness you're gonna get or the type of sweetness you're gonna get within a certain infusion will be different from the tea cake. I think you can generally get an idea if a tea is mostly sweet or mostly bitter or mostly astringent, but however it is, the final product will be different than these coins. Um, Also, when you're brewing a like those mini cakes, those mini tea coins, um, if you have the first, well, you're doing like, let's say you're doing like 3 2 minute infusions. At the point where the inner leaves of that mini cake are being inundated with water, the outer leaves will already be mostly spent. They will have had like 6 minutes 6 minutes of infusing, while the inner leaves haven't even gotten wet yet. And yeah, that can give some skewed tasting notes as well. I think that's about the main thing I would say, which are the positives and negatives about this tea cake. In general, I will definitely say, and I would like to emphasize that I think it's very useful for a vendor to offer like a range of their products. I wish more vendors would do the same. I know Yunnan Sourcing has monthly sample packs or just general sample packs, like they say young pour or aged pour, or I think they even have dry stored or wet stored pour samples. So that's very interesting. But in general, I wish other vendors would do it too. I think Farmerleaf offered a sample set last year, which I was very surprised by. And I know Y2T had one of those tea coin bags where they sold a whole lot of teas, but they had exclusive as well. So yeah, take that however you like. If you think it's interesting or not, to me it wasn't really that interesting. Um, So yeah, that's it for me. I think I will leave it at this. Let me know what you thought of this mini series, what you thought was interesting about it. Please consider leaving a like and subscribing, and I will try to make more tea videos. So cheers and have a nice day.